Okay. And now we're live. Check. Test. No, let's see. Not fun. I'm really hoping it. Sound test. Okay then. Oh, that's a bit better. Sound test. Okay, that will have to do. UP fan 4014 and 10 Suns. Hello. Good to see you guys. Okay then. So one last sound test, just make sure we're all okay. Okay, that sounds fine to me. Right. There we go. Good evening, folks. How are we doing? Good to see you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We've got quite the stream ahead of us. Lots of models to showcase. It's going to be pretty cool. Going to be very exciting. So just a few minutes as we wait for a few more folks to come on in. We got 5 people in straight away. Hello, everyone. Terminator Fan 1984. Hello. Good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. How are you doing? So many wonderful people here this evening. So exciting. Thank you, guys. Thank you all so much. Right, I'm just starting my assembly of my boats. Just so I got have parts. Might build James from some fun point. I remember building my model of James. It was remarkably simple. I'm definitely in the mindset of I would love to redo the characters. If I ever make the Thomas characters again, I'm definitely making them my own versions. They probably keep the same wheel arrangement, but as how they would look, I would definitely have some fun in making them look a bit more unique, a bit more headcanon, so to say. T-Fan 1984 says, good. I am thinking of making a new Lego mock involving my 4-stud, the Legos, the Railway Series Lego mocks. Nice. Using the mocks, so like a diorama, like a station set piece, that sort of thing. That'd be interesting to see. That'd be very cool to see, in fact. All right, so we've got quite the crowd here already, and the model I was hoping to have done before this live stream started is not done. Oh dear. So I'm going to quickly tinker away at this just whilst we get a few more people here in the chat. So Union Pacific Fan, 10 Science, Terminator Fan 1984. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's so good to see you once again. Very excited for another live stream. There's a few more people here in the stream I can see. Say hello. Feel free to do so. I'd love to say hello to some new faces. You don't have to if you don't want to, but all the same, thank you so much for tuning in. Today's live stream is going to be dedicated to showcasing technically 29 out of the 30 car mocks, because number 30 is in one of the diorama boxes, and no way am I getting that one out. Technically, I've shown this off quite a few times. Basically, it is the blue police car from my police station. So if you haven't seen that, go to my channel and look for the police station mock showcase. You'll see the police car in there. UP Fan says, by the way, in my state, there's going to be a Lego thing in August, I'm pretty sure, for a few days, which I'll build my big boy and make sure to get some scenery for it. Cool. Very cool indeed. That's going to be wicked. Okay, so just before, I'll tell you what, this is actually not a bad idea. So to make up for the fact that I'm not going to be showing all 30 cars for Street Racer Season 3, here's something I can showcase in the meantime. So one of the cars from Street Racers Season 1 use the Nissan Fast and Furious Speed Champion set, and I decided to give it an overhaul. And this is really getting on my nerves because I've gotten to this point, but it took me 2 whole days to figure out how like, the front section went through like 3 or 4 different iterations. And now I finally got something I'm happy with. I love how that looks on the side. The pattern pieces look lovely. But now I've just got to figure out the back. And yeah, that's getting on my nerves. I'm not quite sure how I want to do this yet. But one at a time. One thing at a time, I should say. We will get there. So, is the back door open? Oh, 1 second. That's a point. Okay. The back door is open because we have laundry drying. I cannot close that door. Oh boy. So hopefully there's not going to be any loud, annoying music. If there is, I do greatly apologize, but I'm pretty sure we'll be okay. Okay then. 30 models to go through. 29, sorry. Let's get started. So, all of these cars are bubble wrapped. So this is going to take up a lot of time. So car number 1, white and yellow. Some of these cars have inspiration from Hot Wheels sets. Some of these are just freeball designs. All the cars are based off designs from, well, they're not based on anything in particular, I should say. They are all freelance. There's nothing in particular going on with these. It's just whatever I think looks good. And there's a loud noise outside. Yep. Hopefully we don't get too much more of that. But yes, this is probably one of my better ones in the sense that I've wanted to try this half and half color section, like half color at the front, half color at the back. And pulling it off this way, I'm actually really happy with. It's also quite rare for me nowadays to use these front wedge slope pieces that have printed headlights on them. So to be able to use this is, for me, a big win. I'm not going to do this for every single car as well, but we can see the driver on the inside. So that is number 1. By the way, if you are going to be joining in later on the stream, or if you're going to be potentially leaving halfway through because of other responsibilities, first of all, that's A-okay. But I will not be getting any other models back out to show people who come in later. So we'll give that as a... I mean, we're all here now anyways, but it's nice to be able to give that heads up. How to put it back behind. Car number 2. Some of these I haven't looked at in a very long time. That way around. That's it. White and light grey. This is one of the few cars I had, which was previously a race car. When the original Season 3 was being written, it had a World Grand Prix theme to it, similar to, I think, Pixar Cars 2 with the World Grand Prix, that sort of style. There was a whole story, the entire story beat was written out, and some profiles were written, but having to make a bunch of race cars, I didn't really want it. I'd rather have street cars, so that got scrapped, and now we have this instead. UP fan says that grey and yellow reminded me of a Streamliner diesel. First of all, white and yellow. I am going to say the color combinations of every car because I don't know how clear the image is for everyone at home. This is probably as clear as an image I can get. I feel like some of the colors, when you see them on screen, will be quite obvious. But again, I'll say every color combination for the sake to make sure you're seeing everything correctly and accurately. But yes, there's no specific or direct influence for any of these models. It's just, here's 2 colors I want to work with. Here's a shape I fancy trying. 1 and 2 together. Final result. So yeah, that is car number 2. One of the few that was a race car. Fun fact, Some of the race cars had lorries because I was able to get enough stickers to make a full racing team. All the lorries got scrapped except the lorry for this car, which went on to be my car carrier. Because that particular design I loved too much. Car number 3 is our first lowrider. First of, I think, 3? Make sure everything's all correct. How can it be dusty? It's been bubble wrapped. Anyways, car number 3, black and red highlights. This is very much inspired by a car I saw by someone I follow on Instagram. A bit chunky at the front, but ultimately I am quite happy with this. I think this is the weakest lowrider of all the ones I've made, but I'm still really happy with this. This being a 2-seater makes it very fun as well. You can see what I mean at the front, how it's so chunky. I'm not sure if I want to revisit this one, because if I do, I might just make it worse. So I'm going to keep it as is. It's difficult to tell, but the wheel rims are from the Aston Martin DB5 set, and they've been spray painted gold because we got loads of gold on this. Well, maybe not loads of gold, but you know, there are some gold accents. So why not some gold rims as well? Yeah, that is car number 3. I have 9 lowriders at the moment. I think I've built up to 9 at this point. There are definitely some that I prefer against others. And like I said, this black and red one, in my opinion, is the weakest that I've made. But you can't have good things without bad things. So, yeah, I'm still happy with it. There may be points in this stream with models that I show you that you might recognize some of these models, either because I've shown them on past live streams or they have appeared in videos over the past couple of months. That's all okay, because you're going to be seeing them in Street Racers Season 3 anyways. But I still want to be able to do this live stream to get some hype up to Season 3 coming out, because I have next week to get some preparations made, and then the week after to go all in with the filming. I cannot wait. So, where are we? Car number 4. Red and orange. This car had a different look in the past, and then I decided to completely remake it because the original design I wasn't too keen on. After some playing around, just seeing what looks better, this is the end result. The wheels are reddish orange. This came with the scrapyard set, I believe, the city scrapyard set. One of the cars, yeah, because it was a white and sort of orangey car. The wheels were reddish orange, which is a still relatively new color. But at the same time, I thought, you know, that's going to be interesting to see what I can make it work with. Well, I'm making an orange car, or rather rebuilding, so why not this one? And yeah, ultimately, I think this came out quite nice. The rebuild especially. Very air smooth, more of a supercar sort of thing. The flames are there because why not? I want to be able to use as many stickers as possible on my mocks. I mean, looking at this one from earlier, that's a prime example of taking advantage of the stickers. But yeah, sometimes it's nice just to have a few. I mean, you don't need to go too overboard. There is one where it is a bit more overboard, but I reckon you're going to love it. So that is car number 4. Yeah, I need to make sure I'm counting correctly. Quick drink. That's a very weak drink. I've run out of Vimto. Shameful. What doesn't help as well, I've still got an ulcer under my tongue on this side. So talking can kind of hurt, which makes me mumble a bit more. And eating certain foods is really tricky. I tried to have a biscuit earlier today. That was off the table. It just hurts. Okay, car number 5. This is heavily inspired by a Hot Wheels car. And it is the second car I've made to have music theme to it. So yeah, experimenting with orange and white. The overall combination isn't quite how I thought it would look, but this is still better than previous attempts when I was making this model. So yeah, as you can see at the back, we have 4 large subwoofers, and there were a few Friends sets, and I think a couple of sticker sheets from the Lego Movie or Lego Movie 2 that had, well, sticker sheets that look interesting. So I thought, okay, let me get some of those and see what I can do. So it's a bit tricky to really show. If I get that piece off, one of the key stickers is this one. So you can see these music bars kind of pumping up as the music bases on. And I think that's a really cool sticker. Looking at the back as well, it's a bit tricky to see, but yeah, some old Tiny Turbo stickers where that just says power, just something more funky. That spoiler piece is a single piece, Technic as well, from Jack Stone, I want to say. Some very basic sets, I think. And yeah, this overall is one of the more different looking cars I've ever made. I think the wildest car I've made has to be Caster's, one of the main characters from season 2, just a full-on party car. But this definitely doubles up as a street racer and a music car. I nearly said van, but yeah, that is number 5. You're gonna see me licking my lips quite a lot. That's because I've had it in the past. I'm getting it now. Where having this ulcer is drying out the corners of my lips in particular. I don't know how it's connected, but it is, and it's really annoying. So that's number 5. Oh. Car number 6, which is probably going to be quite popular with some people because this has a very wacky color scheme. And probably one of the best ones I've done. So here is some outside driving past singing terribly. Car number 6. Lime green and blue. Using some splatter print pieces from the Toy Story RC car sets. There's 2 or 3 of them that exist. Some of the pieces I was able to use and put together for this particular set, which I'm very happy with the results. And yeah, this is what we have. The wheels are coral, a sort of lighter shade of pink. It's from the Friends Mansion set, I want to say. But it's another one of those cases like with the reddish orange wheels. It's a very unique color. I don't know if I'm ever going to build with that color again afterwards. So, I mean, I think this works really well. So let's put it on this. Overall, I think this is a really lovely model. This is up there as a favorite. Probably behind the top 10. But still, this ultimately came together really well because of those prints. And this is a great example of having stickers and print pieces really bringing model alive. So happy with this one. That's number 6. Oh. Here is model number 7. We've got a few more tuner cars to go through. This one I affectionately call the toothpaste car because of its color scheme. Red, white, and teal. But my god, I was so happy and excited when I was making this one. So yeah, the dragon sticker comes from the 2023 City Tuner Garage set. One of my favorite sets ever. And yeah, it was an interesting combination because I remember going to bed one night, and I don't know about anyone else, but as I'm going to bed, probably the most creative point my brain kind of decides to kick into gear is 10 minutes of me in bed, or between actually being in bed and then going to sleep. My brain just goes, would red and teal look good together? I kind of just woke up, jotted down some ideas, went back to bed. Next day, started putting some parts together, and I thought maybe some white would look good with this as well. And this is what happened. Yeah, you can see why I call it the toothpaste livery car. But still, this is very funky. This is probably the best tuner car I've made. Because when you think about the first 3 Fast and Furious films, the tuner cars and the street races that were in those films, this is probably the most akin to that style. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this one. So that is, yep, keeping counts. This is number 7. UP fan says, I've had ideas for builds late at night before and then like wake up and immediately build without doing anything else the next day. Yep, I've been there. I've done that plenty. Why is it always at the middle of the, like late at night or the middle of the night? That I don't get. That's just mean. That's unfair. Let me grab 2 at a time. Let's try doing that. Oh. There we go. Model number 8. A color scheme I am very happy with, and I think is very pleasing. Magenta and dark yellow. It's bright light orange on Bricklink, but I call it dark yellow. And I think this is wicked cool. This in particular is more directly inspired by one of the cars that come from the previously mentioned City Tuner Garage set, because one of the cars you get from that is basically built with dark yellow and magenta. And I thought, okay, that's quite interesting. Let's try and figure something out. It's basically a scaled up version of that. Similar shape spoiler, similar shape splitter, using the magenta rims, which has never come in a car set. It's like a micro scale architecture set that these have come in, strangely. And I'm using a purple window piece. But yeah, as a color combination, I quite like it. Makes great use of magenta. Again, it's not so intense. The darker shade of yellow is more pleasing to the eye. So yeah, that is car number 8. How are you guys doing? You enjoying the show so far? Everything okay? All good? Just making sure we're checking in with everyone. Because we're all watching along and the chat is very silent. It's weird. I'm used to a much more proactive chat. That's fine though. We're all watching along. We're all having a great time. Thanks again for tuning in, everyone. So good to see you all. Stay hydrated, especially in the summer. Apparently here in the UK it's going to be an absolute scorcher tomorrow, and I'm not looking forward to that. Oh boy. God, I'm gonna be checking this after every single car, aren't I? Right, this is car number 9. The last no, there's one more tuner style car after this one. And this one had a major rebuild. So let's get those pieces. There we go. Yaha! Makes use of dark azure and black. So this flame piece here in the middle came from the Monster Truck set, which came out on New Year's 2024. And I remember getting 5 of those Monster Truck sets because if you saw the end of Season 2, I made some Monster Trucks. So I thought, okay, let's get them as a basis and we'll go from there. And since I had 10 of these prints, because there's 2 per set, therefore I had 10, I thought, well, okay, that's enough to maybe dip my toes into trying a new color, dark azure. I haven't done too much with that color, but this I am very happy with. So previously, this was a lowrider. The wing style spoiler on the back was not there. This was much longer. It was actually an open roof car, and it looked quite terrible. You can actually see what this used to look like in my video vlogging Motoropolis and other mocks that were at the Bristol Brick Show event for last year. So footage of the old model does exist. But this, I think, works so much better. I wanted to have that flame style for the lowrider, but it didn't add up. But this as a tuner works much better. So yeah, there we go. There's that one. Oh yeah, may as well show the front properly too. Also taking advantage of some of the shape pieces, having a nice pointed design on the hood. Just playing around with the colors, some of the pieces that exist in it, why not? So that was car number 9. This is number 10. Oh, pardon me. Making use of yellow and teal and a little bit of dark grey. Yeah, this was a fascinating one to put together because this was another case of what would these two colors look like if I put them together? So I started making it, got to the sort of roof section as well as figuring out something for the mudguards, and I realized I need another color because there's no windscreen pieces. I don't like the mudguard designs I've got in yellow or teal. So I went with dark grey, just threw that in because why not? And I think it works. This ultimately came to be because of the grille piece you can see here. So this came in another set from New Year's 2024. It is the race car and lorry carrier set. It's a different shape. I mean, something like that, just looking at one piece that can inspire an entire build, getting the color combination sorted out, that's a real good thing as well. And yeah, this is the last tuner style car I've got, at least for a while. I don't think I've got any others in this sort of style, but this and the past 4 car models previous are stylized as a new faction for Street Racers Season 3. So make sure you tune in and you stick around for the story relating to those characters and these cars. So we're a third of the way there. That was number 10. Right. Might as well keep going. How are we doing, folks? I'm still working on a Lego mock of a fireman / conductor from the Railway series. I'll share on Discord later on. Ah, wicked. It's like a full-size model of the figurine. That's going to be funky. That's going to be really cool to see. I can't wait to see that. I can now hear music coming from across the streets. If you can hear it, I do apologize. Hopefully this doesn't get the stream shut down. That's all I really care about. But until then, let's have a look at car model number 11. Try my hand at a muscle car, which is definitely more inspired by one of the Hot Wheels cars I had at the time. Blue and dark blue. Not quite John Wick-esque, but as far as muscle cars go, this looked worse. So yeah, this had blue, dark blue, and teal on it. The teal ruined it, so the teal got lifted off. And now we have something much more appealing. It's very square, but that's kind of the point. It does start straight at the front and kind of curves more when you get to the rear. But this is interesting. It's definitely not the style of car that I make often or at all. I mean, I've got a few muscle cars, but it's definitely not my style. Capturing the shape for them can be really tricky, but I think I've done all right with this one. A nice little sticker piece on the bonnets there as well. And our driver is a cowboy, literally with a white cowboy hat. He looks wicked. Absolutely perfect. There we go. Do we have any favorites so far? Were there any models in particular that stood out to you above the others? Speaking of models that will stand out above the others, this next one was rebuilt not too long ago. The previous iteration of this model can also be found in my Brick Show 2024 vlog. This is white and magenta. Now, when I first made that car, I wanted to make use of those two colors together. The problem is I didn't have too much magenta, and I wasn't too inspired at the time when I made that model, but I knew I wanted to keep it. So this is another case of the model has been entirely overhauled and looks completely different to what it looked like beforehand. But folks, this is up there as a favorite. This is definitely in my top 10. White and magenta looks so good together. Look at that. Massive spoiler, some transparent pink windscreen pieces. It's very Miami Vice. I was watching some Grand Theft Auto Vice City lore videos at the time, and I just can't get the connection out of my head. It fits perfectly. I love when a model just comes together so well like this. White and magenta, I think, is one of the best color combinations I've tried. It's one of the rare few that I think absolutely excel. Again, there is another one that I've made, which I'll point it out when we get to that one, that I think is also very exceptional. But this is car number 12. This is a favorite. This is absolutely a favorite. So much bubble wrap. Oh. It is currently 7:30, and we are nearly halfway through. We are going to go over an hour, which is okay. I was anticipating that. So once again, thank you all so much for tuning in. Thanks for enjoying the show. Thank you for commenting in the chat if you have. If you are just watching on the sidelines, then thank you for that as well. It's just good to have you here. Okay, next model. Oh, yes. I'm going to grab a few up. Let's try doing it this way. This next one is inspired by someone I follow on Flickr, because there are designs and models that exist out there that other people have made that sometimes you look at and you go, yeah, I want one. And for me, it's a black Bullet car. Sam Brown, hello. Thank you very much for tuning in. Good evening. How are you doing? We are showcasing a lot of car models for this live stream. We are about a third, well, just over a third of the way through. So you have missed a few. Sadly, I'm going to be getting back out, but there's still loads more to showcase. So once again, thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. UP Fan says, I found the car with the teal, yellow, and dark grey pretty interesting. Cool. Thank you very much for pointing that one out, because I think that is one of the more funky ones as well, definitely. So yeah, this one I call the Bullet car. Got some dark green. It's very tricky to see because of the awkward lighting. But yes, we've got some dark green on the side, a big, thick, dark blue stripe down the middle, but ultimately this is stylized with some sharp angles, two massive fins on the back, and look at that for the windscreen piece. Two of these, which amazingly I had, because how the hell would I have been able to discover what the hell this part was called on Bricklink? But yeah, this just came together so well. This is definitely one of those cars that it came together perfectly. Some models do that, some models don't, but when they do, it's so difficult to top them. So yeah, this is car number 13? Yeah, car number 13. The Bullet car, Black Bullet. Oh yes, look at that. I'm doing good. Still waiting to see you build a car with a 9-wide tail though. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. I've got a lot more to get through first and more designs to play with. 9-wide tail. Yeah, it's on the list. They'll be on there. Let's just keep it there for now, just so I'm not turning the chair so much. There we go. A couple of quick repairs. The next one, mostly red with some light grey and white accents. Very different to what I use. So this sideways building done on the side, conveniently enough, is kind of inspired by that blue McLaren Elva, I think it's called. I think it had some sideways building like this, or at least it kind of reminds me of that. But yeah, I definitely had a go at making something like that. Using some light grey paneling on the sides, some white trim along the bottom. I wanted it to be the same thickness going all the way across, but as you can see, it's very inconsistent. But the white wheels definitely make it stand out. It's a bit compact, so to say. I mean, it's not the longest. I mean, I say that. It's 4 studs in front of the front wheels. It's 7 studs in the middle, which is something I'm slowly phasing out of. Like between the mudguard pieces, nowadays I'm usually building 8 studs between them. It probably is up there as one of the longer ones, but because of that middle section, it looks shorter. It's weird. But all the same, this was made quite a while ago, not too long after Season 2 finished, I think. But yeah, I'm still very pleased with how this one turned out. So that's this one done. The whole car isn't 9 wide, just the rear wheels. Yes, I do know what you mean by the 8 to 9 ratio. Yeah, the rear wheels. I can post pictures in the Discord server. Yeah, please do. Go for it. Let's see the pictures again. Let's be reminded of what you mean. But I do know what you mean ultimately, where it starts off 8 and then thickens to 9 for the rear wheels. I did catch that bit, though. But all the same, let's still get some more pictures in. Right, car number 15. We are officially halfway there. Oh, pardon me. One of quite a few cars I've made that is black and yellow. But this had some inspiration from the Bugatti Veyron style supercars. Very chunky at the back. The funny thing is, when I was making this, I actually started off with that vintage taxi gift with purchase set. So I bought that set for 30, which is, looking back a bit much. But I wanted to make something bigger with it. And as time went on, I kind of just got to this weird shape, and I was looking at some car videos on YouTube at the time. Then a Bugatti Veyron showed up, and I thought, you know what? Let's do that, because why not? Very different, because I've not made a car with this kind of shape before, and I have wanted to make a dark blue and dark azure car with this sort of shaping, a Bugatti Chiron style set. I would love to give that a go. It's possible, definitely possible, but I just got to figure out the bricks, the coordination. I need to make sure that I've got everything I need. Otherwise, I have to make brick link orders, and I really don't want to do that. Vicky, hello, good to see you. How are you doing? Thanks for tuning in. You all right? How was your weekend? So that's car number 15. Also, a quick heads up. I was hesitant to say this, but for Street Racer Season 3, I decided to make a very special character for the show. And in order to assign that character to a car, I just picked an arbitrary model, and it turned out to be this one. So the character story in particular will not resemble anything like this particular minifigure. So it's kind of similar in looks, but the references in the series that you will see for that profile will not have the person mentioned look like this. It's weird to explain, but wait for the series to come out and you'll understand what I mean. I just wanted to give a nod to someone special. Oh yeah, we got 2 more over here. Oh, Vicky says, I'm good. Work was fun Saturday as per usual. Chilling today. Lovely. Good to hear. Car number 16 is my second lowrider for this evening. And it is the second lowrider I made overall, which is somehow a bit dirty. Okay. Heavily inspired by Eddie Guerrero and his green lowriders. Lying and cheating and stealing. Oh, yes. I had to make a green lowrider. I just had to. So yes, this is also the first car I made that used a lot of green pieces. So it was interesting to make a green car because the mudguard pieces are new, thanks to the Aston Martin set from last year. But it's an odd color. Yes, it's a nice looking green. But for car marks, I don't really know how many more I can really make with it. Again, it's a nice color, but it's got its limits. There are some colors that green just does not bounce well with. Only time will tell. Of course, I'll have to figure out what does and doesn't look good. But this is probably top 3 lowriders for me. Of the 9 that I've made, this is probably in the top 3. And yes, all the wheels do bounce. Because of course they have to. It's a lowrider. So yeah, that is lowrider number 2. Let's get some more out at a time. Why not? Yep. So this is car number. I don't care for counting any. I lose count every single model, so there's no point in trying to keep it up. This was a very funky one. So I built this next one in the lead up to Supersonic Brick Show last year. So this model is about a year old now. Very interesting. I haven't looked at this model in ages too. But yes, it's very interesting to see how well orange and teal work together. I made this car with the intention of making it as low as possible. And it still is one of my lowest mocks I've made. Orange and teal was one of those, oh, that's an interesting idea. Sort of color combination thought that came to mind. And amazingly, it actually does look good. The wheels is a bit tricky to see, but the actual wheel pieces themselves are magenta. I've got some black rims on them to kind of make them highlighted. But yeah, adding orange and teal is one of those weird ones. I don't know. Because orange, I don't build too much with. Teal, I, again, don't really build too much with. So let's put 2-ish colors together. Turns out it's not bad. What was pretty good was the fact that I've got a lot of these windscreen pieces and I've got some in transparent orange. Orange with orange, got to make it all work. But yeah, I'm really happy with this one. I do remember the front section here taking forever because I remember having about 4 or 5 different designs and there was a point on them where it couldn't stay connected or something just didn't quite work. So we got to the point where we have what we see now. And I remember being very dissatisfied for a while. There is also a dog barking outside. I do apologize. But yeah, this is quite funky. I'm really happy with this one. You've posted the Discord server? Okay, let's have a quick look at that now. Let's just catch up with everything else. 8 to 9. Yes, I remember seeing these. It's odd for me because I'm going thick. I mean, there is a McLaren 2 sets or 2 Speed Champion sets where one of the cars is fully 9 studs wide. I feel like that's too big. There's a Ford 2-pack as well that comes with a Ford GT40 where I think it's called the Bronco, the larger car, is also 9 wide. there's a side of my brain is telling me it shouldn't do that. Like 9 wide is just too wide. But at the same time, if I do that, I'm basically missing out on a chance to make a model that could potentially turn out way better than I think. Add a brown hat to the top of that car and call it Perry the Platypus. I know exactly what you mean. The problem is it's a bit too orange. I don't know. You can actually kind of get away with it. I don't have any brown parts on me though. But yeah, that's a top marks for me, TP fan. Do I have to build that? I think I have to build a hat now. God's sake. Oh yeah, we've got multiple out at a time for this next one. Okay then, next is another sort of lesser model. I wanted to try building something with blue and white. And I was a bit on how I wanted to go about it. So this is definitely one of the more weaker cars in the series so far. But I still like it enough to not want to scrap it or do anything with it. It's weird because sometimes the shape of the car is dictated by what colors you are using. At least that's how I feel. So this is definitely a victim to that. But overall, like I said, I'm still happy with this. It's probably one of the more weaker cars I've got. But it still does its purpose. I'm still happy with this. And again, you can't have good without bad. What's interesting as well is I'm using these 2x2. I think they're stickers. So it's a bit tricky to see, but they say GT on them, like a special 2x2 round tile that came with a 150-pound sort of large scale Lego car set. I can't remember which one, but it only came with one of these in that set. And there's someone I follow on Instagram who makes quite a lot of car models and uses this particular sticker piece on the rims. So I thought, okay, I'm going to actually go on Brickling and try and see how easy it is to get some. Turns out not that easy at all. I had to make 4 different Brickling corners because every UK store only had one each. So I had to make it work. I got it all sorted, got them in, put them on this car. It might be a bit of a waste. I might take them off this and put them on something else. But at the same time, it kind of makes this one stand out a bit more. I mean, if this was all black, it's got the makings of a Batmobile. But yeah, that's this one done. Having an ulcer is the absolute worst. Try not to bite your tongue or your gums, folks, because that's how it happens. Down there. There we go. Funny enough, I remember making the Disney Cars custom of a race car from that same show, Union Pacific. Okay. See, I was inspired by the Ferrari F12M, such which had a rear bodywork, flare-outs, and 9 wide. Yes, I know the one that you mean. Of course, that does the same thing. Oh, yeah, it does. 24 for not having the wheel arch pieces back at the wheel arch pieces when necessary. Yeah. Yeah, I know the set you mean. It does actually do that. That's a good point. That is actually a good looking set as well. That Ferrari 512. There are some folks outside. I don't know if you can hear them. I can't even see them. Yeah, that's fine. Car number, who knows? Lost track ages ago. Again, stopped counting. Is, I think... No, it's not. This is my third lowrider. I was going to say my third and final, but no. It's my third out of, 4 lowriders for this series. There was a model I made in Season 1. The character profile is called Randall. And I made a modification of the Ideas Gift Purchase classic car set. I can't remember what it's called exactly, but it was teal and white. Made it slightly bigger, but I had no teal parts at the time, so the model was quite naff. And a while after that, I thought I need to give it a proper rebuild. Rebuilt it into another car, sucked. Rebuilt it again into this, and now I'm much happier. So yeah, a nice, more traditional classic car. But I thought, I can't make this and not make it a lowrider. So this is another lowrider, yeah, using the DB5 rim pieces because it has to use that one. Teal and white look so good together. Lime green and white also looks really good together. But I've already made a car with that color combination, so I really shouldn't try that again. But yeah, ultimately, this is quite clean. I mean, just looking at it like that, that middle section looks quite big. I mean, it technically is as well, because when I'm making my cars, that middle section between the mudguards is either 7 or 8 studs in length. Sometimes it's 6, depending on special circumstance, but for lowriders, it's 10. That grants me enough space underneath the car to be able to make all the fancy schmuck to make it a lowrider in the first place. I can technically bring it inwards, but it's a lowrider. You don't want it to be short. You want it to be long. So yeah. Also fascinating thing when it comes to this model. It's not, well, it's kind of a fun fact, but it's also something I don't know where it came from, but I haven't done it again since. This is the only car model I have made where I've put in some windscreen wipers. I've never made a representation of windscreen wipers for any of my other cars, and there's a side of me that wants to go back through every single car model and put them in, but the other side of my brain is saying to me, for goodness sakes, don't do that. Again, I don't know why I put them on there. It was so out of the blue. But in the same sense where I had to make this as a lowrider, I had to finish this with windscreen wipers. Yeah, just a weird thing, I guess. But that is lowrider 3 of 4. We will get to that last one not too long. It is 7:52 at the moment. I did know this live stream would go on for a while. This is really taking some time. Wow. Folks, once again, thank you all ever so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is so much fun to see you all in the chat and interacting. Thank you all for enjoying the show as well. Again, a very different style of showcase live stream for today, but I'm glad everyone's enjoying it. Right, we have 10 more models left. So we are officially 2/3 of the way through. You know what? Yes, we have to. This is the other wacky color card that I keep mentioning. So lime green and white, like I mentioned earlier, does look good together. Lime green and orange looks fantastic. So this is another rebuild of a previously used car. So in Street Racers Season 1, I made the character Billy Ray, and the car I made for him was lime green and orange, which was initially inspired by one of the Lego City Stunts sort of lorry sets, because that lorry was built up in lime green and orange. I saw that at a Lego show for sale by one of my lugmates. I thought, sure, let's get that and play with it. Made the original model. It was all right, but time went on, and I thought, you know what, that needs to rebuild. And somehow I went all in, and I've got this razor sharp looking, super cool orange and lime green race car. Well, street racer, I should say. Yeah, this is really funky. I've got so many stickers as well. You can see all over the front, loads of stickers. On that bottom section there, it's a bit blurry, but there's 2 on either side of the black bumper. There's some on the side right here on this wedge piece. Yeah, it's taking full advantage of filling up all that space. Again, I have loads of parts where they've got stickers on. And why not use that? I mean, I may as well. I may as well put them to good use. The funny thing is, a couple of months ago, I made some Bricklink orders where I was able to get some sticker sheets. And a sticker that I've got and I have used on another car mock is it fits on a 2x3 tile. It's a flame, where the actual flame itself is lime green, and then it fades into a field of orange. Now, that would have worked kind of perfectly for this kind of model, but sadly, this was made probably a year ago, and the stickers I only got a couple of months ago. So commitments have been made elsewhere. But still, this is probably another top 10 car for me. The husband of the owner of one of the places I work at owns a number of classic cars, including a 1967 Chevelle with a 360i CI big block engine and a 4-speed, and a 1968 Mustang Mach 1 with a Cobra jet. That sounds absolutely incredible. I need to do a quick Google search to know what I'm looking at. So, let me go to this. Let me get that one out of the way. I'll tell you what. Quick sound test. Okay. Sound is still good. Let's have a quick look. Ooh, that Chevelle looks pretty good. That's clean. I like that. And a 1968 Mustang Mach. Well, Mach 1. Well, I'm glad to hear that I'm still being... The audio is still clear. Because, that looks so good as well. Isn't that John Wick's car? Oh, that looks lovely. But yes, it was good to do a quick sound check because I had some problems last week with the microphone. But last week it was pointed out and we had to end the stream early. This time we have gone a full hour and we have no issues. So yes. Right, let's keep going. We are getting there. So this model I'm going to show you next is another model that used to be a race car. So back when the original Season 3 was being drafted, the original plan was to go World Grand Prix and make a bunch of race cars. This was going to be Team Gear or something like that, but I remember finding a couple of sets that looked really cool. So this utilizes some dark blue with some white and dark yellow. Saving this and turning it into a street racer was so easy, and I'm so happy I was able to save it because this is very clean. The white accents, I think, are a great touch because, yes, dark blue and the dark yellow look really good together, but if the white was black or basically any other color, I don't think it would work. This, I think, works so much better. Again, lighting being very awkward. There we go. We can kind of see the front. But yeah, this was one of the earlier cars that thankfully survived into this new era of having all street racers. No, I just noticed as well, looking underneath, it uses that larger vehicle base piece. I never use that anymore. Well, I don't have any reason or desire to get that changed over, so, wow, fair enough. So yeah, that is model number 20, 70, 100, or whatever the hell we got to now. Is anyone actually keeping track? What are we on? I could count, but I can't be bothered. I'll tell you what, I will count. Let's have a quick guessing game. So 29 cars are being showcased. If you were keeping track, how many have we gone through? Well, I've just counted. I've got 8 left. So that was car number 21. There we go. I did it for you. This next one is absolutely in my top 5. It has a piece that's fallen off. Come on. There we go. That's what I want. So yes, this next model is absolutely in my top 5 for all-time favorites that I've made. This is very 50s Americana styling, I suppose. I was watching some Fallout stuff at the time as well, which very much inspired this. I like to call this one the Turbo Motive, after a certain LMS steam locomotive experiment. This is dark grey and light grey. Very in-your-face pop style. Massive air intake on the hood. The exhausts on the back are these sort of like jet pieces. Nice little curved wing for the spoiler. Yeah, this is a favorite. This is in my top 5 without a doubt. To be honest, I kind of lose track of counting, which is kind of why I got a Google document which acts as a list. Fair enough. Diesel punk, not quite diesel punk. Well, not for the cars at least, but a diesel punk style vehicle. That would be interesting. I wouldn't mind going over the top for something like that. UP fan says, at least my boat is 95% scraps now. Although I couldn't have kept count of the cars we've gone through. Also, I really like the dark grey car. Yeah, this is an all-time classic. Quite literally in more than one way, because you can see the 50s like retro futuristic inspiration for this. There we go. So that was car number 22. Let's get back on track and do the countdown to the end. Number 23 is also up there in my all-time favorites, top 5. This is also inspired from a Hot Wheels car. It is so stupid when you look at this in person, but also looking at this in person is why it's my favorite, or one of my favorites. Using dark grey and black, menacing is the word to describe this guy. So a larger wheel at the front, a smaller wheel at the back. Very, not so much in your face. I'm not going to say that because that's not really true. Exhausts there on the side, kind of tucked inward slightly. But yeah, the shape of this is very cartoonish. Again, inspired by a couple of Hot Wheels cars that I had. But this really is, it's so cool. In my mind, this is so cool. It's a shame the lighting isn't really working today because I would love to show this off. Show this off even more, I should say. But yeah, just that shape. The color combination was probably why I went for this shape, because building in black and dark gray are two colors I got so many parts of. It's an easy model, but I don't think this could have worked with any other color combination. A couple of flame stickers on the front and in front of the big wheel too. But yeah, this is not quite retro-futuristic, but goddamn, I love this. I really do. Also, really like the great. I did that one. Its Toon Tone color design reminds me of KARR from Knight Rider Season 3. Oh, just Knight Rider's car. Of course. Oh, I can kind of see that, yeah. Yeah, I can see that. So that was car number 23. Funny enough, we are descending in such a way where the last car I show you is going to be the main character, so to say, for Street Racers Season 3. But that is a good thing. Oh, pardon me. Had to get that air out. Got some trapped wind in me somewhere. That's horrid. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Car number 24 is inspired by the previously mentioned New Year's 2024 race car and car carrier lorry set. It's black and teal, and I was also inspired by Jackson Storm from Pixar Cars 3. That sort of kind of square but also menacingly streamlined style. I was tempted to replace the teal with normal blue, but that meant having to rebuild the car, and frankly I couldn't be bothered with that. Yes, I'm not surprised you would have seen this one before. This is quite an old car. This is another car that I had for the previous Season 3 iteration where this was a race car. But in the, I was going to say in its race car form, which is no different. I mean, when this was a race car, it's no different to how it is now. This has been featured in previous videos. I think this was also in my Bristol Brick Show vlog for last year as well. So yeah, this is not really new, so to say, but I think this is pretty cool. This is more so in the top 10. Not quite top 5 models, but overall, with this shaping and the color choices, it's top 10 for me. Probably lower 10. I haven't been able to really rank all of my models, but just visually looking at them, it's up there. It's up there as a more favorited model. And for the sake of showing off, I don't know why I'm showing off inside with this guy, but that's our cool Jackson Storm-esque minifigure. So that was number 24. Number 25. Now this was a really funky car to put together. This next model was inspired by the Spider-Man car set, the red and blue one specifically. I remember getting that and thinking, well, red and blue, that's the next color combination to try. And after I made the car more and more serious, this is what we got. On camera, the blue is quite vibrant in its own weird way. The Audi e-tron set gave us some red wheel pieces, of which I have some black rims on top of. Again, lighting is betraying us here. But blue and red actually looks good. The reason why this works is because compared to previous iterations of this model, the blue was a lot more dominant, where it really didn't need to be. Some highlights with all that had to be, we've got 2 stripes going down the middle, a couple of details on the front, stripes on the bonnet as well, the side view mirrors, a couple of bits on the black. That's all it needed to be, and it works perfectly for that. The red carries this model, and the windscreen piece in particular, the transparent red with some black printing. This is actually from a Star Wars set. So this is a good example of where I've been able to get some of this windscreen, some of these windscreen pieces, which have unique prints from outside the Speed Champions line, and it's actually gone quite well. I've actually really been keen to make this one. The exhaust in particular is very weird. where there was a Hot Wheels car I had where the exhaust came out the back like this. But yeah, a bunch of ideas came together, and we have a very serious supercar. It has also only just dawned upon me, now that the lighting has gone down, the reason why the lighting is not good is because I don't have any lights on. Let's go do that, shall we? Let's have some light. That's better. After all this time. Oh, there's me trying to showcase certain models. Oh, it's too dark. The lighting is terrible. Let's get some more light then. I did have, and do technically still have, my ring light. So when I live streamed in my previous place, I had a ring light behind my... It was next to my monitor. I could set it up here, actually. I'll have to try and figure that out for next time. Actually, no, I can't because of the rearrangement. So, for a future stream, I will try and set things up where I can get that ring light back into position. So I've got light here as well. That should make things a lot more visible. I'll have to look into that. Yeah. We have 4 car models left. These are 4 big ones. We're going to do... Yeah, why not? So let's do it in descending order. This is fine. This is okay. So this next vehicle is something that is over a year old. I think this debuted on screen at the vlog I did when I went to Severn Valley Railway and did a show with the LUKR. This is black and orange. And it's a hot rod with a certain theme, shall we say. I found a sticker sheet from an old set online on Bricklink, which brings this to life. Oh, this was very popular at that show as well. How's that for a hot rod? Look at that. The rear wheels are... I can't even see them. There we go. There's the rear wheels. So they are there. But the spoiler is basically a pair of bat wings. The sticker on the back is peeling off. God damn it. We have 2 skulls at the front because one isn't enough. The headlights are technically blocked. And we have a massive engine spitting out flames. Yeah, this is definitely up there in the top 10. Definitely higher to I don't know if I would put this in top 5. This is probably going to be number 6 if I did a ranking. It would be outside. I really don't know because there's so many models I do absolutely love. But I think this is probably number 6. I couldn't put it in my top 5, but in the top 10, yeah, I think 6 is good. In particular, just looking at this again, I do remember looking at some other models that people have made online, and I remember seeing someone on Flickr who had made a similar shape on the sides here with these like bricks, kind of rounding it off like this. And I wanted to try something similar, but I do remember it being quite a big pain in the ass. Because having to get that curvature correct is not the easiest thing. But the model's here and it's made. So yeah, this is going to be very popular when I take it to my next show. No doubt. I need to look into... Do I have any double-sided tape? Yeah, I have it in one of my boxes behind. But yeah, I need to get a couple of stickers reapplied. Right, 3 left. The next car I'm going to show you is the 4th and final lowrider. May as well put that back in. There we go. So yes, our 3rd to last model to showcase. Again, I think I've shown this off before. I am showing more and more of the cars in vlogs and videos I've done. I used to be quite secretive with these, but there's no real point to being secretive. So next is probably this probably is my favorite lowrider of all 9 that I've made. This is wicked. More blue and dark blue. Oddly enough, it's the second car I've made with this color scheme. The first one we saw earlier this evening, which was the muscle car. So this is a 1-to-1 rebuild of a Hot Wheels car. I remember having the Hot Wheels car just in the box. I just bought a bunch from a car boot sale from quite a while ago. And thinking, yeah, that's going to be really cool to make. I can't wait to do that. Put it to the brick. Was exactly the same. Got mostly done. And I thought to myself, would a car that looks like this ever be used as a lowrider? If I can find an example of that, I'll convert it into a lowrider. 5 seconds of research. That's all it took. I was able to find what kind of car this was, at least based on. Does X car, or can X car be used as a lowrider? First thing I see is a video clip of this car, or something that looks like this, bouncing up and down like that. And they're going, sold, let's make it into a lowrider. Look at that. This is another one of those models where it just came together perfectly. I'm so happy with this. This is definitely top 10 model. I don't know if this will be top 5, but it's definitely in the top 10. And for the sake of showing off the minifigure, because he's got greased hair and a leather jacket, yeah, blurred camera for the win, yeah. But yes, that's the 4th and final lowrider that we will see in Street Racers Season 3. 2 models left. We're getting there. Oh, my hands. I'm very clicky. I don't know if anybody else likes to click their fingers. But I am a very clicky person. This next model you will have seen, along with the car you just saw in the Diner mock showcase video. If you haven't seen that yet, make sure you do so after this live stream. But this is one of the few cars that was made after Season 2 went out. And it is based on one of the cars that comes in the... I think it was a summer release for last year. But that car carrier lorry sets from the Lego City line. One of these. And like the black and orange car we saw a moment ago, this is one of the few cars I've made where it has small wheels tucked in. I don't think I'll ever do that again because it works for those 2 examples. I'm a bit iffy on whether I could convince myself to do it again. Not to say that I wouldn't, just the design would have to be right. And this design is very right. To me, this is very Greased Lightning. It reminds me of the film. I don't know why, but it just does. The only thing I think I would probably modify is bringing the exhaust pipe to the front, round about here. Maybe. That gap, it looks so annoying because I had to make this car a little bit bigger in order to accommodate the Speed Champion's style and scaling. So the flame piece, as you can see, it's not big enough. But ultimately, I am very pleased with how this came out. A very different kind of car that I've made compared to all the other ones I've got. Yeah, I'm very happy to have this in my collection. I can use this as a basis to make a potential fabulous Hudson Hornet set as well. I would like to try that one day. One day. That was car number 28. Car number 29 is the blue police car that I made that has gone with my police station. That also has its own mock showcase video. So if you haven't seen that, go to my channel after this live stream and give it a watch because you get to see the car in its entirety. And as far as police cars go, I'm actually quite happy with that one. So the final car to showcase this evening is another one of the cars that was built originally as a race car. After the racing idea was scrapped, I decided to repurpose the model. And I also decided that because the character I made for this car was the main antagonist of the original Street Racers Season 3 concept, this is going to stay as the main antagonist for Street Racers Season 3. The driver of this car, his name is Richie Marcus, based off the character that is often referenced to in the popular Fallout New Vegas DLC Old World Blues. The name just fits perfectly. And this is what he drives. So this is the main antagonist, so to say, for Street Racers Season 3. This is what we're working with. Some red and black once again, quite dominant. It's a color scheme I do quite often, but the yellow is also a sort of tertiary balance. It was nice to be able to put these exhaust pipes on the front there, dipped in such a way where it's not going to be so outwardly provoked, because of how the modern mudguard pieces are made, where they're a bit lower. I can get away with this particular design. Yellow wheels as well. Had to, because why not? And it's also one of the exceptional cases where the red windscreen piece from the Ferrari 812 set, because it has the yellow stripe, I've been able to put it to good effect because, of course, as you can see here, there is a yellow stripe going down the middle of this car. This, I don't think it's top 10. Probably 11, but the significance of this model is what makes it more of a favorite for me, because this is the main bad guy for Street Racer Season 3. So yeah, that is it. That is all the models that you will see in Street Racers Season 3, coming out, hopefully, in a month. My eyes are... Ooh-wee. I think a little bit overstimulated. I am feeling a bit dizzy. Luke, did you see the modified Nerf Night to Find a Shotgun pistol I posted in your Discord server? Yes, I did. So it's a shot. It's not single shot. It's a proper shotgun. I mean, it might be a stupid question, but yeah, I think a 3-dart pistol shotgun. That was pretty good. That is cool. Whew, and with that, let's have a drink. Oh, oy vey. I have to admit, that's worn me out a bit. But yes, that is all the cars I can showcase. I mean, that is all of them there. That was quite fun. That was really fun to be able to show them all off. You will, of course, see them in much better detail with a much better camera, because my webcam is a pile of ass. I don't know if I'll get another one in the future. Well, I will, but don't know when, really. So that is it. I'm going to be ending the stream at the moment. Thank you once again to everyone who tuned in. Terminator Fan 1984, Sam Brown, Union Pacific Fan 4014, Victoria Too Good. We also had 10 Science, and I think that was everyone. Yes, that is everyone who commented on the stream today. It's so good to see you all. I love doing these live streams once again. I'm so happy to be able to pick these back up and keep a consistent weekly stream going. UP fan says, all right, well, I guess it's time to start construction on the red engine or soda in my style. Yes, go for it. 3 full length or 6 half. Oh, you can get 6 half lengths in there. And you got, well, of course you got a K26. I think a K26 is that's still the standard for spring mods, isn't it? Because that's been around for donkey's years. But yeah, that's cool. They've been able to get it all in there. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Thank you very much for sticking around and saying hello in the chat. So before I go, I will actually give this a quick update. I don't have any more videos lined up for release. So the last video that went out was 2 days ago, which was another diorama for Motoropolis City. All the videos I have edited and put together have now gone out. The next lot of videos that's going to be made will be Street Racers Season 3. It's actually happening now. It's coming to fruition. I've got so much filming to do. It's going to be exhausting. But once it's done, and I can focus on Street Racers Season 4. And there's a lot of, well, basically got to do all of the writing. I think I'll check it later on. I think basically all of it has to be written. I mean, I have all 30 cars made, but of course, writing the story for Street Racers Season 4 is when we need to figure out what to do from there. So yeah, it is going to be a very interesting time going forward. Street Racers Season 3 is going to come out, it's like 13 months after Season 2. I was really hoping it would be a bit beforehand, but sadly, life happened and things got delayed. But I'm in a much happier position now. I'm in a much more ready position. Season 3 this year. Next year, Season 4. And it's off to the moon from there, I guess. So one last quick check with the chat. K26 and Calibers and Lynxes are 3D blasters. Yep, it's the favorite. Okay, that's good. And then we have bespoke aftermarket upgrade springs for different blasters. We still do? Excellent. Because I know there were when I was still keen for the hobby. I left the hobby like 2 years ago, so whatever's been happening has completely gone over my head. But good. That's good to see that it's still out there. Right, folks. Thanks everyone so much for tuning in. And I will see you at the end of July for when we get to finally see Street Racers Season 3. If you want to see some behind-the-scenes progress for Street Racers, consider joining me on my Patreon. You get a lot of special perks for just £3 a month. There is a link at the top of the description. So give that consideration, but remember there is no obligation to do so. Thanks again. I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.